you?
I'm really well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good, good. How's your vocal exploration going?
It's I feel like to be honest, I don't do much between our sessions. So,
That's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, most people that I work with are avocational, right? Not in it for any kind of like professional aspiration, but more for their own benefit. So that's normal. Oh, well, but just I mean, but part of the reason that I ask though is because you get to have the time to ask any questions or direct our energy at the beginning of the session if you want, right? So it's never like punitive. It's always like, is there anything that you need today?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because just like prior to coming in, like I was just sitting with Jeff and there's like this like student in me that's like, oh God, I have to go to like a class where I have to like I'm going to be asked to like perform and there's like feels like a little bit of a pressure on myself, which doesn't feel like what this is anything about, but yet just like acknowledging there was that sort of like maybe memory that rose up in me of like going to piano lessons was like, oh, I have to show the teacher, you know, I have to perform for the teacher. And if I get it wrong, that feels bad. So there is a little bit of that where I'm like, oh, like this shouldn't be like that. And it's not like you in any way. I think it's like an old memory of like going to a lesson and feeling like I'm going to have to perform or something.
Well, I think there's also, and I could be wrong, but I think there's also something in our sort of modern educational system that promotes that feeling of like have to perform, have to succeed, have to get a grade, have to like do all these things that may or may not be what you actually feel like doing in the moment, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, every time we get into it, I think it's fun, right? Like I think it's like something like you actually choose and enjoy to do. It is fun. Like if I went to like a surfing class or a sports class, it's like because I chose to and it's like I want to get better. And so same here, same here. Like I chose to do this. I want to improve. So yeah.
Yeah. And just know that I personally accept you exactly the way you are every time you show up. Like, I'm not grading you.
Awesome. I know that. I know
In
that. It feels
fact,
good though. Feels
yeah.
good. Yeah.
And in fact, for my like longer term students, like when they don't practice, part of my mind is like, no problem, job security. Like, the more you practice, the better you get, the sooner you're going to graduate yourself from my studio, and move on and find something else. And the more that you don't practice is like, great.
I feel the same with my therapy clients. Like,
Right?
where I'm like, there's no skin off my back if you haven't done your homework.
Right? Oh, okay. Well, let's
Yeah.
do let's start by just like super kind of quickly reviewing
Should
the connect.
stand. Or
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
prefer
think
it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's just sort of quickly review the body connection. So bring your hands around your waist, and you're gonna squeeze in a little bit, and then we'll just clear the throat. And you feel that little outward engagement, yeah? So now get that to turn on an S. Great. Do they turn on? Really good. Okay, before we sing though, turn on your original sound on the
Oh, that's right.
Zoom.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, I can hear it right away.
Okay.
Okay, so now replace the hiss with your E. Very good. So the stability, really, really good. Now just think about sliding a little bit more so it's really, really smooth and connected. Much better.
E. E.
Very good.
E. E.
Lovely. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So now let's, same concept. So you're still sort of focusing on this body connection, but let's make the exercise a little bit longer and more decorated. Almost. Go up another one. Then come down. Great. So that is the pattern of notes. That's perfect. Now let the vowel blossom into an ah at the
Okay.
top of the pyramid. E, ah. Liz, that is just lovely. Isn't that
Thanks.
fun?
I think I'm like concentrating too much on getting the notes right to have fun.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's great to get your feedback that like it's going well and then maybe I can relax a little.
Yeah, the sound is just really, really lovely.
Can I say, Sam? I like I notice like mentally, I don't trust that I know the notes, and I'm like trying to like mentally like kind of like when you play the piano sound, I'm trying to be like, what's he doing? And I think that adds like an extra layer of pressure on myself. I'm like, what's he doing? Without just trusting that like some intuitive, reflective process is like I will be able to know. But just wanted to voice that like I am noticing like some like, wait, what notes did he play? Or like what tune did he play?
Yeah. So not only is there hopefully an opportunity to trust that your ear will get it.
My ear will get it. My ear will get it. And I
Your
don't need
ear.
to like think about it. I don't need to think about it.
Furthermore, outsource that to me. If you don't get it, I'll let you know and we'll fix it. Right? So you don't actually need to be the supervisor of the pitches in this moment because you can just hand that responsibility to me. So you can just focus on body connection and enjoyment.
Okay. And yeah, and then I also noticed like I'm like mentally thinking about my breath to get that beginning right, and hopefully I will just kind of relax into that breathing more, but I'm like kind of like thinking about all this.
Yeah, right. So okay, so the more we can take off of the plate, the better. Your breathing has seemed good. I have not been offended by your breath once since you started singing, which is a really good sign. Right? At no time was like, oh, we need to fix that. Like I didn't have that experience at all. So I think if it's possible, let let the inner artist and musician that is concerned with doing things really well,
Hmm.
let her know the breath is going well, the intonation is going well. You don't have to worry about these things.
Okay.
They
Perfect.
you've already achieved them. Done.
Okay, just relax into it. All right.
That's wonderful. That's the highest that we vocalized you so far. That's the highest note you sung for me, and I can tell that you've got plenty more above that if you wanted to explore that, upper extension that you've got so much more to go if you wanted. Okay, really, really good. I want to give you, is this our last one? I can't remember. Or do we
I
have
think
one
there's
more?
one more. I think there's one more
Okay.
next week. Yeah.
I want to introduce maybe one more technical thing. And now assume that the body's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So you don't have to think about the body. You don't have to think about the breath. And it'll be the same pattern, so you don't have to think about the notes. You only have to think about the one thing. Okay. What I'm drawn to as I listen is wanting a little bit more upper space, a little bit more stretch of your soft tissue up here somewhere. Okay. So, one of my favorite ways find to locate the spot where we can stretch is to snort. Great. So when you do that, do you feel that little flapping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now it's kind of behind that. It's behind that flapping. The soft tissue can stretch like a little umbrella opening up, right? And to some extent, the higher we go, the more it helps us when we stretch that spot. So maybe you'll feel it, maybe you'll imagine it, I don't know.
Okay.
Hell yes. You got it. And even though it's located back here somehow, we're gonna keep the chin a little bit more horizon level,
Okay.
just so we're not putting any strain on the connective tissue. That's
Okay.
all. How did that feel?
Felt great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was lovely. It was a very mature, warm, womanly sound. It was just very like it was just lovely. Yes. Okay, great. Now I'm like sensing this is more like a feeling in my body rather than anything I'm hearing, like a little bit of oh shit, right? Like
Maybe.
oh my god, we're going up another one or something like that. Um, so just do it again and just like take some more time.
Okay.
Like like allow yourself to take up space and time.
Okay.
You're hired. Liz, that's really good work. It's really good work. That's just so open and easy for you all the way through.
Yeah, it was so interesting for me to be able to name the worry about getting it right and you reassuring me just to listen. I really felt something relax where I just really could trust myself more. And then it just kind of like, yeah, like I could feel myself like relaxing more into this and like something like innate turning on of like, oh, I know I can match the frequency. It's like something that's like my body's responding rather than like thinking about it.
I love that. Something innate turning on. That's beautiful, right? Because I do think that there's a certain wisdom that our bodies have around singing,
Totally.
that part of this process is like peeling away the
Mm-hmm.
layers of like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and there is stuff we have to do, no
We
doubt,
still
but
have to
like
practice, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was great. Okay, let's see if we can get make a little headway on our aloha.
Oi, and could you email
Wait,
it to me? I never got it, Sam. And so it'd
well,
be
that's
great to
my fault.
practice. I'll practice if I
If you
yeah.
actually get an email with, yeah, that would make total sense. Okay, so what would be the most beneficial practice tool for you?
What are the options again?
I can send you a PDF, which will have the sheet music and the text, and I can also burn a. I can do an MP3 that will have the melody.
Whatever's easier for you, Sam. Both of those would work. I think I'd like to see the notes and the words. That's how I think better, but that's also me using my brain versus like an MP3 might like allow me just to like respond to it. So Whatever you as a teacher think would be best for me.
Let's do both.
You're so generous.
Let's do both. Okay. So I want to email these off now because I have a tendency to forget these
Of
things
course, things pile up. Yeah.
if I don't. I've gotten really good at making lists because I get stuff done if I make a list, but if I don't make a list, sometimes I forget these things that are really important. Okay, so we'll do Aloha Oi PDF. So here's the MP3, and then there's the PDF. I'll send these to you. Okay, and they're off.
Perfect. Great. No, I will practice. I'd like to. Yeah.
Well, and again, even if you don't, like whatever, like at least you have the option if you want it.
Okay.
Okay, so what if I share the screen so that you have access to the visual?
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we got through this first phrase. Ah, shit. Nope. No, no, no. Nope. Excuse me. I'm gonna edit
I
this
have no
one.
idea what's wrong. So,
Let me play that again.
okay.
Okay, so let's try that.
Okay. Wait. So what do I start with? What's my ha note? Ha. Okay.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So let's polish this one area. Kauai, kauai.
Ka, ka, kauaina pali.
Kauai.
Kauaina pali.
Again.
I'm okay.
You were correct.
I was like, I'm thrown off by like how short the note is. I'm not keeping my rhythm correct.
So that's okay. So now, so think of it as the ka. Think of the ka as it's leading you to the oo. Kau,
Okay.
kau.
Kauaina pali.
Fabulous.
Aheu kauaina pali.
Great. So now right here on
Yeah.
the heo ka u, we
Yeah.
just need to teach the brain that we go down, down.
Down, down.
Heo ka u,
Okay.
heo ka u.
Where's a who?
Absolutely. Again, please. Fabulous. Fabulous. Okay, so now, great. So now thinking brain did a really good job putting all those notes in order right at the right spot. So now let's do it again. And maybe don't shift out of it 100%, right? But shift, like, trust 50% more.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Or I didn't hold the pa long enough, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Whatever. This is beautiful. I'll take it. Okay, okay, really, really good. So that was it. So I think so. Let me stop the share there. That was really good. That was a really good like reminder of the beginning of that song and just kind of getting the brain sort of wrapped around the song again. But I think what the important thing that I want to punctuate is that for the process of learning music, there's this beautiful back and forth between left brain, right brain,
Mm.
right? Sometimes we can just listen and get it, and it's a very receptive right brain channel, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah. That doesn't really work for me. If I work that way, there's always mistakes. I always have mistakes in my music. And so I benefit from, and I think like 90% of people benefit from the ability to like plunk and just take a very left brain approach of like inputting data into the computer. It's just data processing. That's all it is. And then once you do it correctly one or two or three times, then it's like, okay, my brain has it now. Now I can start to relax into the flow of the music.
Mhm.
And then if there's a mistake, just go back and correct the mistake.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Great. Any questions about any of that we did today?
No, I really feel like there is a process of integrating all this. And, even like on the third lesson, I feel like, oh, like the stuff that we talked about in the first and second lesson, like feel more natural to me now. So then we can kind of yeah. So it feels good to feel that process of relaxing into, but I like that right brain, left brain as we learn new music or new technique. There's like an initial left brain, and then you can relax into the right brain.
Say it again for the folks in the back. The things we learned on the first lesson and the second lesson feel, would you say, more natural or easier? I can't remember.
Yeah, feel more natural now. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And let's highlight that's without a whole lot of practice,
No
right?
practice. No
Right? No
practice.
practice. And this is one of the beautiful things about voice that is different from say or any instrument really is that the voice wants to be efficient. It wants to be easy. It wants to be expressive. And so often when we do something right, I'm just going to use the word right. When we do something right, the voice is like, I love
Yay.
it. Let's
Yeah,
keep it,
yeah.
right? And if you want to go pro, yeah, you need to practice the way any musician does. But if we're just wanting to like sing with friends and family, it's not like piano where you have to sit down for hours and run scales and chords and like learn. It's a little bit, I think, it's a little bit more forgiving in terms of the time input.
That's great. As an
Yeah.
adult looking for that, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay, very good job. I look forward
Thanks,
to seeing you.
Sam.